This is Late Night Lee Talks TV. I'm Late Night Lee, and I talk reality TV dating shows such as Ready to Love, Married at First Sight, Love is Blind, The Ultimatum, and Love Island, just to name a few. So if you do enjoy watching that type of content, then please go ahead and subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss out on when I upload a new video. This is a new channel, so I do appreciate the love and support. Go ahead and like the video right now and comment down below because I'll comment back. Now let's get into Ready to Love Season 9 Fort Worth Reunion Part 2. Now I'm not really going to do a full recap. I just want to go ahead and highlight the things that I thought stood out the most. So let's get into MessageGate, right? So the whole alliance message, the messages and all that stuff with LaRon, Will, Alexis, Dominique, William, this alliance to try and get Koshia and Mika, and I guess they also said April out of the show, off of the show. Wow. But baby, LaRon is probably one of the MVPs of this reunion because he had the receipts. You know, he came through on some, I have the receipts, baby girl. And the receipts were receipting. And he showed the text messages to Tommy, and the text messages were read out loud. And pretty much the text message from Will stated that they wanted to play this like a game and of course get Koshia out the house and off of the show. And also he said that his inside connect, which we know was Alexis, you know, was feeding him information. Like this is crazy. And Will still try to deny it. Like I didn't say this was a game. I said that this was like the Hunger Games. Okay? A game. It's a game. You know, like he still tries to deny it. It was crazy. Will going at it with LaRon on some, don't say nothing to me. And LaRon said, Will said something. And LaRon was like, you're not to say nothing to me. Or like, I don't remember what he said, but he kind of like checked him or whatever. But what I didn't like was Will. Okay, they go through their little bickering back and forth, and Will says, "You're an IT professional," and that's not. What is wrong with it? Is something wrong with the IT professional? Absolutely nothing. I don't think, based on what I remember, that's not LaRon's profession. It's something related, but I think it's something different. But we're not going to discredit a Black man in STEM, right? We're not going to do that. So shout out to Scorpio Mo, who is on Crystal XO's channel. He was saying like when Will said that, he kind of gave off the vibe of a scammer, because what a lot of scammers like to do is downplay the working class of America, which is the majority of people working a 9-to-5 and who have a job. They like to be on some, you have to go to work every day. I don't have to do that. And that's kind of what it sounded like, you know, like he was belittling LaRon's career. And that wasn't his career, but still, even if it was, why are you acting like something is wrong with an IT professional? People in IT, depending on certain levels, they definitely make decent money and some can make good money. What are you talking about? And most people still think that Will is a scammer, you know, so we're not like a person who has to brag about their money and talk about, I have so much money, you know, that gives off new money, or you probably got your money via scamming. You know, not saying that that's what Will is doing, but it kind of came across that way. I'm not saying that I don't think he's a scammer. You know what? A lot of people are out here scamming a lot. Who knows? A lot of people came up from the PPP loans. Let's keep it a buck, more than we know. So I'm not saying that's what Will is doing, but it came across like he was belittling someone who works, 9 to 5 or whatever. And it's someone who works in a tech company. Like, it's good money out here. What are you talking about? Like, people can make an honest living. Like, Will is a real estate developer, right? So if the housing market crashes, then your money gonna be funny, you know. And people who work in STEM, that's a very, very good, lucrative career choice, right? So to me, I just didn't like that. LeBron pointed out his fake chain, and he said, "I got my money than you." And it's like, so what? Like, duh, dude, like, you can't keep leading with your money. It's not impressive to people as like you think. It's not as impressive as you think. Also, the type of women that you are attracting with that is not the type of women that you want, right? And again, look at Chaz. Chaz had that really nice house, and he never had to be on some, I got money. Like, we can see he has a nice house, right? Even though I think, like, in the past, in reality shows, we found out some people were, like, renting, or they weren't living in those houses by themselves. Like, they had, like, maybe it was their family's house, they had roommates. And I'm not saying that that's what Chaz's situation is at Chaz's age, and I don't recall exactly what his career was, but it was something that, was like an analytics manager or something of that nature. And it was something that, made sense. But when it comes to what we see on TV, we really don't know for sure what we're seeing, if it's true, because I've seen a lot of reality TV shows where we found out, baby, that these people were renting Airbnbs and all types of stuff. So again, Will leading with the money thing. Like, sir, I'm telling you right now, I'm not buying house, property, or nothing from a realtor with a chain like that on. I'm telling you right now, it's not happening. Yeah, I didn't like that back and forth, but they didn't take it any more serious. They didn't go to blows or almost to blows with it. So I do appreciate that. To me, Glenn, why? Why was there such a focus on Glenn and not a focus on other people, I think, who maybe even got eliminated early? Do you guys remember the guy, Demonte, who had on the blue suit in episode 1? He was the first guy to get eliminated because he talked about how his credit was bad. Like, we never heard anything from him, and he was there. He was dressed in all black, and he actually looked really great, but most people didn't even recognize or remember him. But yeah, there was nothing. They didn't say anything to him. But Glenn, and he showed up. That's the part that sucks. The things that we reward. Glenn did not show up, and Glenn got so much camera time. But Glenn came across as so awkward, and it was giving ADHD vibes. Like, sir, this process probably really wasn't for you. He came across so awkward, especially when he sat down in the confessional booth, and it could be editing, but I just feel like he's like, oh, this is a blue velvet chair. Wow. Come on now. When you're young and your parents are act like you've been somewhere. Don't be, ooh, wow, ooh. He came across super awkward, and it was just not needed. I would have probably liked to hear, what's his name? Devontae, we don't remember. Diamante, the guy who was eliminated first. hey, have you gotten your credit situation together? Or do you see how that conversation talking about those type of things got you eliminated? Hopefully going further in your dating life, you don't discuss that first, right? I did like that we finally got to hear a little bit from Patricia, who was eliminated first, but I still have not forgotten Mr. Jonathan. If you guys remember, Patricia, she was eliminated in episode 2. She was in group 2 and eliminated in episode 2. And according to Jonathan, he felt like her guard was up. And she was saying, like, she wants someone to make her feel safe, to create a safe space for her. And everyone took it as, well, she had her guard up and yada, yada, yada. But the very next episode 3, Jonathan was talking to Alexis. And because Alexis said she enjoyed getting her feet rubbed, Jonathan says, talking to her makes me feel like I'm in a safe space. And it was like, whoa, wait a minute now, because last episode, you said Patricia's walls were up because she wanted someone to make her feel like she was in a safe space. So now you got someone who likes you playing with their toes, makes you feel like you're in a safe space. You like them? You see how that works? Yeah, no. So anyway, Jonathan, that pink suit, like, okay, but why was the pants so high? Did you see when he was sitting down? I didn't realize he was so tall, but when he was sitting down, the pants stopped almost at like his shins. Like it was way too high, and I was just like, absolutely not. But Jonathan talks about the toes sucking and then we see Alonzo like making these looking faces, and it was too much. And he was like, I don't even remember that. He said he didn't remember that. He said he was drunk. And again, I'll talk about this in my assessment of Alexis and her interview with Little Black Book 91. I'll be doing a video on that, so look out for that video next. But Alexis blamed it on the alcohol, and people who are 30 and up, we're not going to do this. We're going to stop letting people play in our faces and tell us that alcohol made them act away. Everybody knows their limits. Everybody knows what it's like when you start to feel saucy. And when you start to feel that way, that's just the beginning. There's more that's going to come. But if you are stupid enough to keep drinking and then you're doing things that are inappropriate and you don't even remember and you're ashamed and embarrassed, well, that's you. I don't think alcohol is ever like saying, oh, I was drunk. That's not an excuse. Because at our big grown ages, we know that we should not be drinking on an empty stomach without proper food consumption. And we all know what our limit is. Like, we know how much we can drink before we need to be carried out or we need to have our keys taken away, whatever it may be. We know it. So I don't feel like that's an excuse for acting ridiculous on national television. It's just not. It's not. Jonathan, I did not like. He just came across as cold and uninterested in the women. He dismissed most of the women by episode 3. And Alexis was his only connection. And, the whole situation, the pajama party, how that ended. So, and I'll talk more about that on my video that I'll do next about Alexis and her interview with Kojo on Little Black Book 91. It was a super long interview, and if you did not care for Alexis before, you're definitely not going to like her anymore after watching that interview. But I will sum up the main parts, so stay tuned for that video that will be coming out next. What I didn't like was that William did not really get an opportunity to talk much. He only got to talk when they talked about the message and alliance situation. There wasn't a lot of questions at all geared toward William. So, and he was on the show longer than Jonathan, and he got an opportunity to, to talk more than William did. So, but hey, they get into Chaz and Vanessa. Now, I'm glad that the other women spoke up and said the petrified rose was an insult and they would have taken it as an insult. Patrice said that she did not feel like it was nice. And I forgot the other lady who chimed up. I think it was Rashina. Rashina, she got in there, of course, because her and Chaz had a connection as well. And she said, like, look, I don't feel like that was going to be something like that was meant to be shady. That wasn't, according to Chaz, it was supposed to be poetic. And no. And I love that Vanessa was so calm and composed. And she said to him, it didn't hit the way you thought it was going to hit. And baby, she ate. She ate and left no damn crumbs. And Chaz thought he was going to, well, you're a narcissist. And like, no, Chaz, like, please, if he's watching these reviews, sir, everyone thinks you're the narcissist. Everyone thinks that Chaz is the narcissist here, not Vanessa. And I think that's why his phone was allegedly hacked and that voice note of Vanessa was allegedly leaked, quote unquote, air quotes, leaked, because I think he saw Vanessa. Because we know he watches the reviews on YouTube, and he saw that people were really liking Vanessa. A lot of the men were liking Vanessa. And I think he probably wanted to show, hey, she was lying. I have the audio. Allegedly, we don't know. I'm still waiting to watch an interview with Chaz. I don't know how. I don't think he can save himself, but let's see. Yeah, she ate him up. It did not hit the way he thought it was going to hit, and it did not. It made him look worse. It made him look diabolical. It made him look like a person who is spiteful and who seeks revenge. And that is scary. To try to say it's poetic, it's not. You did it purposefully to hurt her. And she wished him well. Oh, I don't know if she wished him well, but she was very calm and matter of fact, and she didn't go back and forth with him. And I like that. Now, maybe she would have done that in private, but on national television, she kept her composure, and I appreciate that. And I wish more women and more people would act like that. Like, come on, I'm not going to go back and forth with you. And she is a winner as well. So LaRon is a winner. Vanessa is a winner because she kept her composure. Baby, that petrified rose did not hit the way he thought it was going to hit. It didn't. We are all looking at him like, sir, that's real spiteful. That's real vengeful. That's, diabolical. Okay? So Chaz later reveals, oh, honey child. Chaz said that he has a date set. And again, I was watching Crystal XO, shout out to her. She said, when people get engaged, they don't say, we have a date set. They say, I'm engaged, because there's usually a good period between, the engagement period and the wedding, right? And planning the wedding. So with the engagement period, what happens a lot, couples take engagement photos, professional engagement photos to announce, of course, that they are engaged. And then they start the wedding planning and all of that stuff. There's usually an engagement party. So to me, Okay. Rewind. um, on my previous video about Chaz and how I don't think that he was engaged for love, I thought it was a 5-month period between when the show stopped filming and when they actually did the reunion. So apparently, Tommy said it was 3 months. So, baby, come on. 3 months? And then it's like, who is this woman? Oh, she's somebody I knew before. And she allowed me to go through this process. Okay. So a woman allowed you to go on a dating show where you would be meeting and dating 10 other women. And you actually connected with all of the women, according to you. And you even chose to continue dating a woman, which would have been Patrice. Had Patrice said yes, then what was going to happen with you and this other woman? Like, who are these women who wait for men to go sow their royal oats and then come back? Okay. And I know, like, people will be like, oh, I don't believe it. No, there are women out there who will do what Chaz said, who will patiently wait and patiently wait and patiently wait and patiently wait for you to choose them. And I think that, again, Chaz, I feel like because he is quote unquote poetic, but comes across to the viewers as someone who is spiteful, I don't think he got engaged for true love. I think he got engaged in order to let the women know, like, hey, I'm the real winner. I'm the only one up here right now that's engaged. Like, that's why I think he got engaged. Because if you were dating her before, you were serious about her, like you really liked her, you would not have put yourself in a process like this to be dating other women. You just wouldn't. And then 3 months later, be so in love that you get engaged. Now, I know people who get engaged super quickly and they may already have a date set because, like, there's like a specific date they want to go for. Like, remember Cynthia Bailey and what was her man's name? Mike Hill, right? So they had that date 10-10-20. So they wanted to get married October 10th, 2020. The symbolism of the 10-10-20, okay? A lot of people, was it last year? It was like 12-31-23. So it was like 1-2-3, 1-2-3. So some dates are, important. But, honey, we all don't think that Chaz is engaged for love. We think that Chaz is engaged to one-up the ladies and be like, hey, I got engaged. Y'all still single, Yeah, for a guy to know you before, for however long he knew this woman, then put himself on a dating show, choose a woman to continue to pursue. She rejects him. And then within 3 months, he goes back to this other lady and gets engaged. Now, I know people who've gotten married within 2 or 3 months of knowing each other. But that's because it was that whirlwind romance. Stay with me here. I know my partner's parents, they dated for 2 months and got married. They still together. It's been 20 years. So I know people who do it, but it's not like I met you and knew you before, but then I stopped dating you so I can date other women in this dating show, and then me and you got together. Like, no. It's that love at first sight. It's that when you know right away. You don't you don't stop dating that person, go date other people, and then go back to them. It's like that automatic, like, man, we've known each other for 6 weeks. We are in love. Let's go. Let's do it. It's not like let's date. I'm gonna stop dating you so I can date other people. Then I'm gonna get back with you. Like, I've never seen that. And we just don't believe Chaz, okay? We don't believe you need more people. Let's go to who I think the real MVP, one of the other real MVPs of the reunion and the show. It's really Mika and Justin. Now, here's the thing. We all owe Mika an apology. We all kind of thought, like, why is Mika on the show? Mika don't seem to like none of the men. Most of the men want to have kids. Mika doesn't want to have any more kids. Why is Mika on the show? She kept being in that bottom two to be eliminated. Like, what's going on? But, baby, look at this. Justin and Mika are still together, using the L word. And to think that Justin wasn't even picked for the show. He was an alternate that came in because, what is his name again? The one who, whatever. The one who is acting super awkward didn't show up. Glenn. So because Glenn didn't show up, Justin did. To me, it just shows you that these producers picked horrible men, because Justin he came in as himself. He came in not trying to play any games. He genuinely got to know these women, or a few of the women, and he's still rocking with Mika. I don't think that Glenn would have I don't think he would have been someone who would have went a long way based on how awkward he was acting at the reunion. Yeah, I'm sorry. But the fact that Justin talked about how, he is okay with not having kids. Let's talk about that. I think that's a really great conversation point to have, because it's not easy to meet an amazing person that you fall in love with. Now, it can be easy to meet people and you may be attracted to them, but it may not necessarily work out, But to meet someone and you're just like locked in like that, but they have, I guess we can say that 80-20 rule. They have 80% of what you need, but that other 20% you may not be able to get. Like, if they don't want to have kids. There are lots of people, most of the people on the show had kids and they're now single. So do you want to have a kid with someone and end up breaking up a couple years later versus being with your soulmate for the rest of your life and not have kids? That's a tough one, And I think because Mika already has kids, the longer that they're together, he may be able to be a father figure to them. And he also works in a school. He's a PE teacher, so he has the ability to be around kids and be a mentor and be that male figure that a lot of kids may lack. Now, he may just be a PE teacher, but still, when it comes to maybe some athletic students, he may be a really great source for them. So it's a conversation to have, and it's different with men because, as we see with Robert De Niro and Al Pacino, both have kids in their 80s. Men can have kids at any age. Remember, he's still I think Justin was in his early 30s. If not, I think he was 30. So he can have kids. If him and Mika don't work out down the line, it's not going to be too late for him to have kids. Men can have kids up until, I don't know when. They can go up until death, okay? But for women, it's different. So I think for a man, I can understand him being with a woman who doesn't want to have kids or any more kids because she still has kids. But if it doesn't work out, maybe he's taking this chance on love. And if it doesn't work out, maybe by the time he's in his late 30s, still not too late. Of course, definitely not too late to have kids if it doesn't work out, right? Like for men. But for women, it's a whole nother story. So this, I think, is a great conversation point. Like, would you be with somebody who has everything you need, but they don't want to have kids? Oh, speaking of a kid conversation, you remember Chaz and Vanessa? Now, let me say this. I'm somebody who has a dog. I love dogs. Most people who have dogs and love and care about their dogs, most dogs, I say on average, will probably live until they're about 14 years old. If they're healthy and they're being well taken care of, they'll probably live until at least around 14. Everyone I know who has had a dog up until those years, they went and got another dog not too long after their dog passed away of old age. So if you're someone who doesn't like dogs and you get with someone who loves dogs, even if that dog were to pass away of old age, that person is more than likely going to get another dog. So it doesn't work because a lot of people consider their animals like their family, and again, I'm a dog person and I'm a dog mom. My dog's my baby. Like, my dog is my baby. I spend hundreds of dollars to board him when I go on vacation, make sure he has his shots, all that. When I don't even want to go on a walk, I don't feel like going on a walk. It's too cold, or I just don't feel like it. I remember I got to take my dog on a walk. Like, I love my dog, but I wouldn't tell someone, oh, I gave, it's similar to a child you gave birth to. I wouldn't do that. I'm not a mom. Now, I love my dog to death, but I wouldn't compare my dog to someone's child. Like, seriously, that's crazy. That's real crazy of Chaz. But again, I'm someone who, I love my dog. If anything were to happen to my dog, I would not be okay. I would be crying with all the tears. I would be crying. So, yeah, to me, it's tough because, we just talked about how Mika and Justin are together and she doesn't want to have kids. He does. But he's willing to be with her and not miss out on a good love. But are you willing to miss out on a good love if your person doesn't like animals or the animal that you have? I mean, and I feel like this, like, and you say you don't like to, like, are you afraid? Because, like, some people, they'll be like, I don't like such and such type of animals or whatever. But there's always that one friend or family member who may have an animal that you probably don't normally like, but you like their animal. You know what I mean? Like, you may say, I don't like cats, but my best friend has a cat and that's a good cat. So I like her cat. You know what I'm saying? Pause. But, you can say something like that. Like, I don't know. To me, people who love animals, they are willing to get more. Like, for me, when I do get a house, I want to get German Shepherd, one or two German Shepherds. To keep it 100 with you. So I couldn't get with somebody who's like, I hate dogs, because then I would also be worried. Like, are you going to try to hurt my dog? Because some people, they can get very spiteful when it comes to animals. So, yeah, it's a conversation. It's a conversation starter. Can you be with someone who doesn't like animals or your type of animal that you love, a cat or dog, birds, hamsters, whatever? And can you be with someone who doesn't have kids? Interesting. All right, guys, I want you to let me know, who do you think is the best, or who do you think is the MVP? I think that LaRon came through swinging with the receipts, and the receipts were receipting. He was one of the MVPs. I think that Vanessa was one of the MVPs because she kept her composure despite, Chaz being a bit vindictive. I think that the only couple that are still together and in love Mika and Justin, are they the MVP? So comment down below your thoughts on, out of the three, who do you think the real MVP of the reunion is? And what do you think about this conversation piece? Can you stay with someone if they have all the qualities you need, but they don't like animals or they don't want to have a kid? Are you willing to give up on one of those things for love? Now, for me, I think, I don't know, guys. I don't know. Like I said, it's hard finding your person. And when you do find that person and they have that 80%, but they're missing 10 or 20%, what do you do? Comment down below your thoughts. I'm interested in finding out what you guys think. Thank you for watching. This is Late Night Ali Talks TV. I'm Late Ali. I'm signing out. Don't forget to like the video, comment down below, I comment back, and please subscribe to the channel.